My wife texted, "I'm pregnant. It's not yours though." I replied, "Congratulations." Then I withdrew every penny from our joint accounts and disappeared. Her lawyer couldn't serve divorce papers to someone who didn't exist anymore. I, 34 male, am writing this from a hotel room somewhere. Can't say where. Don't want to say where, but I need to tell someone what happened because it's been eating at me for 2 weeks. Thursday, 2:37 p.m. I'm at work when my phone buzzes. Text from my wife Giselle, 31. Marriage of 6 years, together for 8. Thought we were solid. Need to tell you something. I'm pregnant, about 8 weeks. It's not yours though. Sorry. Just like that. Text message, not even the decency to tell me face to face. I stared at that text for maybe 5 minutes. Read it over and over. Waited for the "just kidding" or some explanation that would make this make sense. Nothing came. "Congratulations," I replied. She started typing immediately. Those 3 dots appeared and disappeared several times. Finally, "That's it? Congratulations? What else would you like me to say? We need to talk about this. Come home." Working late tonight. Big project. That was a lie. I left work immediately, but I didn't go home. I went to the bank. Here's something about our finances. We had what she called a joint account, but it was actually my checking account that I'd added her to years ago when we got married. My direct deposits went in, I paid all the bills. She contributed maybe $400 a month from her part-time job at a boutique. Account had about $32,000 in it. Money I'd saved for years before we even met. Plus my ongoing deposits. Withdrew $31,500. Left $500 so the account wouldn't close. All legal. My account, my money. Teller asked if everything was okay. Told her I was making a large purchase, not technically a lie. Next stop, my buddy Amos, who's a lawyer. Not a divorce lawyer, does corporate stuff but smart enough to give me basic advice. "She's pregnant with another man's baby?" he said, jaw-dropping. "That's what she says." "And she told you via text?" "Yep." "Dude, document everything, screenshot that text, back it up everywhere, and whatever you're thinking of doing, make sure it's legal." Already screenshotted it, already backed up to 3 different cloud services, already thinking 10 steps ahead. "Can I ask you something about serving legal papers?" I asked. He raised an eyebrow. "You have to be findable to be served. Can't serve papers to someone if you don't know where they are." Interesting. And if someone were to say, work remotely, travel a lot, pay cash for everything? Then they'd be very difficult to locate for service. Not illegal, to be hard to find, just inconvenient for anyone trying to sue you. We talked for another hour. He gave me the name of an actual divorce attorney, told me to be smart, not emotional. I was already past emotional. I was in planning mode. Went back to the apartment while Giselle was still at work. Packed methodically. Just essentials, clothes, documents, laptop, some personal items. Nothing she could claim was ours. Left all the furniture, dishes, decorations, even left the TV I'd bought last year. Found her journal while packing, wasn't looking for it, but it was right there on her nightstand. Flipped to recent entries. "Tomorrow I tell R about the baby. Scared but excited. Maybe this will finally push us toward divorce. T says he'll take care of us." T had to be Terrence, her CrossFit coach. The one she swore was just a friend. The one whose classes she never missed. The one who texted her constantly about form improvement. Took photos of those pages. More documentation. Left a note on the kitchen counter. "Congratulations again on the pregnancy. I'm sure you and T will be very happy. I've removed myself from the situation as you clearly wanted. The apartment is paid through the end of the month. After that, it's your responsibility. Good luck." Then I left. Checked into a hotel an hour away. Turned off my phone, opened a beer, and waited. The explosion came around 7 p.m. when I finally turned my phone back on. 63 missed calls, 42 texts, starting confused, escalating to panic, ending in rage. "Where are you? We need to talk. This is childish. You can't just leave. Where is the money? That was our money. You can't do this. I'll call the police. My lawyer will destroy you. You're gonna pay for this." I responded once, "Your baby daddy can help with money now. Best wishes." Then I blocked her number. Blocked her on everything. Shut down my social media. Became a ghost. That was 2 weeks ago. I've been moving every few days. Working remotely. Set up a P.O. box in a different state for mail. Using cash for everything. Not hiding from the law. Haven't done anything illegal. just making myself inconvenient to find. According to Amos, who's been my intermediary, she's losing her mind. Can't file for divorce without serving me papers. Can't serve papers to someone who can't be located. Can't access our money because it was never ours. It was mine that I let her use. She tried to paint me as the bad guy to our friend group. Backfired spectacularly when she had to admit the pregnancy wasn't mine. Turns out most people don't sympathize with cheaters. I know I'll have to deal with the divorce eventually. But for now, I'm enjoying the peace, the freedom, the knowledge that she's facing the consequences of her choices without me as a safety net. 8 years together, 6 years married, destroyed with a text message. It's not yours though, sorry. Well, Giselle, nothing in my life is yours anymore, sorry. Update 1. Been over a month now since I became a ghost, and the entitlement has reached levels I didn't think were possible. First, let me address something lots of people asked about. Yes, I'm planning to divorce her. No, I'm not trying to avoid it forever. I'm just making her work for it. My lawyer, yeah, I got one, says what I'm doing is perfectly legal. I'm not hiding from the law. I'm just living my life in a way that happens to make me hard to locate. Not my fault she didn't think things through before texting me about her affair baby. So here's what's been happening. Giselle hired a private investigator. I know this because the PI was sloppy and used the same username across multiple platforms. Found his Instagram where he posted about his current case with just enough details that I knew it was me. Dude was posting updates like he was on some TV show. Target may have gone north and following paper trails. Bro, I'm using cash and have no fixed address. What paper trail? But here's where it gets juicy. Remember Terrence, the CrossFit coach baby daddy? Well, turns out our boy T wasn't exactly honest with Giselle. She thought he was single, successful, ready to play happy family. Reality check. He lives with his mother. His successful fitness business is teaching classes at someone else's gym. Oh, and he owes $8,000 in back child support to 2 other women. That's right. Giselle's upgrade has 2 other kids he doesn't support. Found this out through my friend Diego, who still goes to that gym. Diego said the confrontation was epic. Giselle showed up during a class, pregnant and crying, demanding to know why Terrence hadn't been returning her calls. His response? Look, we had fun, but I'm not ready for another kid. Another kid. That's how she found out about the others. But does this give Giselle a moment of self-reflection? Does she think, wow, maybe I destroyed my marriage for nothing? Nope. According to the emails she sends to my P.O. box, only way she can contact me, this is all my fault. Some highlights. If you had been more attentive, I wouldn't have looked elsewhere. I worked a normal job while she worked 15 hours a week. A real man would support his wife no matter what, even when she's pregnant with another dude's baby. You're destroying 2 lives with your selfishness. Math's not her strong suit. She destroyed our marriage, not me. I'll take everything in the divorce. What everything? The furniture I left? Good luck with that. My lawyer says her lawyer is getting frustrated. They've tried everything. Hiring a PI? Failed. Serving papers to my old workplace. I'm remote now. Serving papers to my family. They legitimately don't know where I am. Even tried to claim abandonment. Doesn't work when spouse admits to adultery. Best part? She can't afford her lawyer. She's been trying to get them to work on contingency, promising a big payout from the divorce. Lawyer's like, what payout? He emptied the accounts legally before leaving. Now she's having to borrow money from her parents for legal fees. Speaking of her parents, they reached out to my family. Her mom left this voicemail for my mom. Your son is being cruel to our daughter in her time of need. She made one mistake and he's punishing her forever. One mistake? Getting pregnant by another man is one mistake? My mom's response was legendary. Maybe she should have thought about that before spreading her legs for her trainer. My mom doesn't usually talk like that. She's pissed. But the real kicker came last week. Giselle managed to get a court date for a preliminary hearing about temporary support. Her lawyer argued I should pay spousal support and pregnancy-related expenses. The judge looked at the evidence. Her text admitting adultery, her admission the baby isn't mine, proof that I left her with a month's paid rent and utilities, evidence she has a job and family support. Judge basically said, why would he pay for another man's baby? and denied everything except ordering me to participate in divorce proceedings in good faith. I had my lawyer respond that I'm happy to proceed with divorce. Just need to be properly served first. Ball's in their court to find me. Meanwhile, I'm living my best life, working remotely from different cities, saved enough to put a deposit on a nice apartment, month-to-month lease, staying flexible. Dating isn't on my radar yet, but I'm in therapy working through the betrayal. Oh, and Terrence? Completely ghosted Giselle, blocked her on everything. She's now 6 months pregnant, living with her parents, working part-time, and begging anyone who'll listen for money. The woman who destroyed our marriage for some CrossFit attention is learning that actions have consequences. And I haven't even started the actual divorce yet. That's coming in the next update. Because yeah, I'm ready to end this officially. On my terms. Update 2. The divorce papers finally found me. Want to know how? It's actually hilarious. My lawyer, who's been worth every penny, filed a motion saying I was willing to accept service through him since Giselle's team was struggling. Cost her an extra $1,500 in legal fees for all their failed attempts first. The look on her lawyer's face when mine said, "He's been willing to accept service this whole time. You just had to ask," was apparently priceless. But before we get to the divorce drama, let me tell you what Giselle tried to pull. She went on local news. Local news. Some morning show segment about abandoned pregnant women. Sitting there with her belly, crying about how her husband disappeared and left her penniless while pregnant. Made me sound like a deadbeat. One small problem. She forgot that whole "it's not yours though" text existed. My lawyer sent a cease and desist to the station with the screenshot. Then he sent it to every other media outlet in the area in case she tried again. Station had to issue a correction saying key details were omitted from the story. Giselle's segment got pulled from their website. She tried to spin it on social media afterward, saying I was silencing her truth. Someone, not me, but bless them, posted her original text in the comments. Post deleted within an hour. Now the divorce negotiations. This is where the real entitlement came out. Her initial demands: 50% of my current income as spousal support for 10 years. Pregnancy and birth expenses covered. 18 years of child support for a kid that's not mine. Half the value of our savings, the money I withdrew. My car. Compensation for emotional distress. My counteroffer: no spousal support, adultery state. No pregnancy expenses, not my kid. No child support, not my kid. She keeps what she contributed to savings. She keeps her car. She compensates me for the marriage counseling I'll need. Her lawyer actually laughed when reading our response. Dude knew they had nothing. But Giselle wasn't done. She tried to claim I was hiding assets, demanded full financial disclosure. No problem, I disclosed everything, every penny accounted for, all legal, all mine. Then she tried to claim financial abuse because I controlled the money. Judge shut that down quick when my lawyer showed. She had full access to accounts. She chose to work part-time despite no kids. She spent freely on CrossFit, clothes, and girls' trips. I never restricted her spending. The mediation was brutal. Giselle showed up 8 months pregnant, playing up the victim angle, brought her mom for support. First thing the mediator said, let's be clear. The pregnancy is not relevant to these proceedings as paternity tests confirm Mr. Up is not the father. That's right. She actually tried to claim I might be the father. I demanded a prenatal paternity test. Results: 0% chance. Terrence is definitely the daddy. Her mom exploded. He should man up regardless. That's what real men do. Mediator: ma'am, you need to leave if you can't remain calm. But she's pregnant with another man's child. Please exit. Security had to escort her out. Giselle started the waterworks. Mediator wasn't moved. Final divorce settlement. No spousal support. Thank God for at-fault divorce states. No pregnancy child obligations. She gets the furniture and household items I left. She's responsible for the apartment lease I left her with. Clean break. No future claims. She pays her own legal fees. She tried to refuse, said she'd take it to trial. Her lawyer pulled her aside and basically explained she'd lose worse at trial and rack up more fees. She signed. But the story doesn't end there. Remember Terrence? Dude really thought he was gonna skate on this pregnancy like the others. Giselle put him on child support before the kid was even born. He tried to contest paternity. DNA test confirmed what everyone knew. Now he's looking at child support for 3 kids from 3 different women. His mom kicked him out. Jim fired him for bringing drama to the workplace. Last I heard, he was couch surfing and doing personal training in parks. Giselle's living situation isn't much better. Her parents gave her an ultimatum: get a full-time job or get out. She's been applying everywhere, but explaining the gap in real employment is tough. I was a kept woman until I cheated and my husband left. Doesn't look great on applications. She had the baby last week. Posted about it on Instagram. I don't follow her, but people send me screenshots. Caption was all about being a strong single mother and doing it alone. Doing it alone? That's what happens when you blow up your marriage for a guy who collects baby mamas like Pokemon cards. Someone commented, "Congratulations. Where's the father?" She deleted the comment, then made her profile private. My divorce was finalized 3 days ago. I'm officially free. Credit's still perfect. Savings intact. Job's going great. Even started dating someone. Taking it slow, but she's amazing. Funny how much better life gets when you remove toxic people. Giselle? She's got a newborn, no husband, no money, a deadbeat baby daddy, and a reputation in tatters. She messages my lawyer occasionally, asking if there's any way to revisit the settlement. There isn't. She made her choices. I made mine. Only difference is mine were smart. Final update. Last update because this chapter of my life is officially closed. Got a call from Diego last month. He was at a coffee shop and overheard a conversation at the next table. Giselle was there with some friends and he said I needed to hear what she was saying. According to her new narrative, I was abusive, specifically financially and emotionally. She had to find comfort elsewhere because I neglected her. I trapped her in an unfair divorce. I'm probably hiding millions somewhere. She's the victim of a narcissistic ex. Same song, different verse. But here's what her friends said back. Girl, you literally texted him that you were pregnant with another man's baby. You thought Terrence was rich. You played yourself. Maybe focus on your baby instead of blaming your ex. Even her friends are tired of her BS. But the real reason for this final update? Terrence reached out to me. Terrence, through Instagram DM from a burner account. Bro, I know we don't know each other, but I wanted to say sorry. I didn't know she was married when we started. She told me you guys were separated. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I got played too. She told me you were some rich dude who ignored her, said you had family money. I thought she was this lonely housewife. Now I'm paying child support. I can't afford for a kid I barely see because she won't let me visit unless I pay extra. Just wanted you to know I'm sorry for my part. This whole situation is messed up. I didn't respond. What's there to say? But it confirmed what I suspected. Giselle sold him a story too. Probably sold everyone a story. That's what she does. Meanwhile, my life has completely transformed. Remember that girl I mentioned? We're exclusive now. She knows the whole story. First thing she said was, "Thank God you respected yourself enough to leave." She's a pediatric nurse, has her own house, her own life, her own goals, drama-free. It's refreshing. Moved to a permanent place. Nice condo downtown. Bought it with the money I saved by not subsidizing Giselle's part-time lifestyle anymore. Have a home office with a view. Living the life I always wanted, but couldn't afford when I was carrying dead weight. My lawyer sent me one last update. Giselle tried to file for increased child support from Terrence, claiming extraordinary expenses. Judge looked at her expenses. $200 a month on coffee, $150 a month on nails, $3 a month on online shopping, $0 a month on baby supplies. Her parents buy everything. Claim denied. She actually has to pay Terrence's legal fees for the frivolous filing. Her parents reached out to mine one more time, wanted to mend fences and see if there was any chance of reconciliation for the baby's sake. My dad's response, "Your daughter made her bed with another man. Now she can lie in it. Alone." The last I heard, and I only hear things because people love to gossip. She's working at a call center, living in her childhood bedroom at 32. Terrence sees the kid twice a month, supervised. She's on dating apps claiming to be a boss babe single mom. Still posts inspirational quotes about knowing your worth. The irony of her posting about knowing your worth when she threw away a stable marriage for a broke personal trainer with multiple baby mamas. Chef's key? Sorry, incredible. As for me, promotion at work, healthy relationship, nice home, peace of mind, zero drama. Turns out when someone texts you, "I'm pregnant, it's not yours though," the correct response really is, "Congratulations." And then you rebuild your life without them. To anyone reading this in a similar situation, you don't have to accept disrespect. You don't have to fund someone else's bad choices. You don't have to man up for another man's responsibility. You're worth more than being someone's backup plan. Choose yourself. I did. Best decision I ever made. Thanks for following along on this journey. Time to close this account and move forward. Living well isn't the best revenge, it's just the natural result of removing toxic people from your life. Peace out.